we've got a VCR to look at. This one here is a Panasonic NV-FS100. And I suspect that this is quite similar to the FS88 that we looked at last time. So, well, we'll find out. Interestingly, on the picture on the service manual here shows it having some kind of side panel bracket things. Almost looks like it's got rack handles on it. Something to make it look fancy. But, yeah, sadly I don't have those. But it has got what would be attaching that, presumably. Interesting, I only just noticed that. So this machine, I'll tell you what it has. It just says what's in the manual. How to check the cracked chip part. Really? It's gonna crack? Can do if you bend the board, so be careful. Various soldering techniques. Controls, we'll have to look at those for real. What everything is. Is there features? The remote. Yeah, I've got it somewhere, I don't know where. Yes, it's got fancy edging on it to make it look like a high-end machine. NICAM audio. So disassembly and adjustment procedures. We looked at this manual before, didn't we? Because we were looking at the review motor. And then it goes into the schematics, block diagrams. Looks like someone's actually used this one to do some proper debugging. Traced some things and highlighted them. PCB layouts, schematics, block diagrams. Oh, the same things highlighted. That thing. Jog shuttle control. And parts list exploded views. Great, let's look at the actual thing. Starting off on the front here. Again, it's got the door that covers up everything. It's got lots of features. It says S-VHS 625, VHS Power, Hi-Fi Stereo, HQ, NICAM Digital Stereo Super 4 head. We've got a door that opens up. This one's in better condition than the... This is back to the normal looking controls. That FS88 had those kind of weird looking round buttons. But this is the more usual, more high-end appearance. Yeah, quite a lot of things in there. VTR power switch, microphone input, headphones jack, headphones level, picture soften sharpness, audio recording level control, a whole bunch of switches here, noise filter, manual or automatic gain for the audio recording, MPX filter, mixing hi-fi normal audio, digital tracking on off, NICAM stereo for the tuner or mono tape length select whether S-VHS is on or not, simulcasting, I think on or off, the input selector, tuner line or S-video input, and then the buttons, TV, VTR, eject, the channel selection, clock setting and tuner controls, which is this stuff here, which is also the tracking up and down buttons if you have the digital tracking off, on and off for automatic timer recording, counter, more things to do with the tuning, short and long play, not just audio short and long play but real presumably, tape transport controls, and over here we get another nice jog and shuttle control. And a nice big crack in the display there. Well, not actually in the display, but the plastic cover thing over the display. Here on the back we have the RF in and out connectors, then the video and audio inputs and outputs, composite video on BNCs, audio on RCAs, an edit plug socket presumably under that plastic thing, sync edit, and then the S-video mini DIN plugs, they're up here. The FS88 had them down there. Well, I guess that's because it had Euro connectors, didn't it? So it's a little bit different here. Heatsink, we didn't look at what was on the heatsink. I'm sure someone had mentioned in the comments of a different video that there's a heatsink on the back of these for linear regulators for the audio, maybe? I think we need to investigate that here. The power input. So let's take this thing apart. Well, let's at least look inside it. Then we'll power it up and see if it works, and then we'll do a bit of a deeper investigation into the mechanical and electrical components. Possibly it'll look very similar to FS88. Look at that, all the good stuff in there. Does look quite similar, doesn't it? Fairly similar. Now remember we had that weird problem. FS88 had a problem that the plastic parts have broken in here. This one still seems to be in good order though. Did I just jam it a bit? Anyway. And again there is a nice allowance to open up the electronics while the front panel stays attached. Interesting ground strap going over to there. 2 hinges for this board. I think that's an improvement on the other one, previous one. Switch mode power supply there. This one doesn't have the automatic tape head cleaning roller thing. Posts are still in good order, they move around, don't get stuck. Head bearing feels good. Okay, we'll try to switch this on and see what happens. Promising. It powers up, and like on the FS88, the screen is barely readable at all. Let's have a look at the mechanism. Is that functioning? Looks like it is. And push fast forward, it will unthread. Nice, careful fast forwarding mechanism. Okay, let's get a video output plug cable connected. At least we don't have to deal with a weird Euro plug again. Just plug normal video output into this from this. Good quality BNC connectors. Alright, let's have a go at this. Look at that, a nice working machine. I was thinking that there was something wrong with this. I don't remember, well, I know I used this machine for a while, but I can't remember. Well, my memory was that something went wrong with it, but I don't know, it's either self-recovered or I was thinking of a different one. The jog and shuttle are functioning. There is something I did notice here while looking at it, that the play button down here, it says ×2 on it, so if you push it again, it goes into a 2 times speed playback. And then push it again, goes back to normal speed playback. That's pretty nice. Got a nice clear still picture, although the capture doesn't demonstrate that very well. ×2. Pause. It is a good picture on there. And then jog and shuttle. Jog forward and back. Hear that the review motor there running when you turn it backwards. Jogging forward. And then the shuttle control, just fast forwarding. And then decreasing amounts to reach as normal play speed. Then slow motion forward. All the way down to paused, and then in the reverse direction, reverse slow motion of increasing speed till it gets to normal playback in reverse. Pretty clear picture for that. Hear the review motor running for that. And then reverse double speed, faster, into full reverse review speed. And back to normal. Great. Nicely functioning. shaky camera all over the place. Right, well, let's take this thing apart then. Now we know it's in good working order. Let's ruin it by taking it apart. Well, the reason we're here is to take it apart and have a look in it. Let's have a look in the bottom first. I think this will have that same NICAM decoder thing. Or maybe it's different. Look, there's a cover there. A metal cover below the metal cover. It just seems like there's something missing. That's very empty seeming in that area. Fancy machine. It's got feet with like metallic looking edging on them. Fancy feet that don't do anything useful, and they also don't have any non-slipping. It's just, I guess maybe there was something in there originally. Some rubbery pads probably sat in those rectangle cutouts, but they're gone now, so it just slides around. Ah, look. Interesting, there's a board under this cover. Maybe this has some of the extra stuff that it looked like was possible in the plastic molding on the FS88. I don't really know what additional features this one has over that one. They don't list features in the service manual like they did in the older models. Did for the older models? Look at that. Oh, the bottom panel is made of I don't know, it feels very dense, like it's got lead in it or something. I don't know, it's not like bright and springy like the steel bottom covers. Oh, it's made of 2 layers. It's like there's 2 on top of each other. I don't know if that's, I don't know, weird. It just feels really heavy and also acoustically dead. Yeah, so we've got a lot of interesting stuff in here that we didn't see in the other machine. So that's exciting. Look, making use of those extra posts. So I guess there's another version then that has a board across there as well. Got a look at this thing. Doesn't have much on it. Just some fairly thick wires. And then some other wires there. Is this some kind of extra power supply? The service manual might tell us what it is. Where's the fun in that? We've also got this good box thing here. Yeah, a different version of the NICAM decoder. And we've got that there. That weird keyhole thing in it. Okay. And we've got this guy. With another like sealed unit soldered down. So what is that? That's some kind of more video processing thing. It's got delay line on it, a huge one. And something inside a metal box that seems to have no direct connections into the board, but it's got this little like PCB tab coming out with a connector on it. I'm going to pop this open and see inside it. Now we can't get to the other side because it's soldered down, but look, there's 2 ICs and some other business over there. Oh, there's a connector to that side as well. What a strange thing. Oh, there's also a normal test switch. Some SIL packages. Look at that thing. Let's get right in there. What is that? It's like a 4-terminal device, and there's 3 of them there. AN608P. Seems to be Matsushita brand part. Some special thingy for doing stuff. Okay. Well, that's weird. Interesting extra bits and pieces there. What is this one? Oh, look at that. Capacitors. Capacitor collection? 1000 mic 16 volts. Is this that thing that someone had mentioned, like power supply linear regulator for the audio section? It's definitely some kind of filtery thing. There's some fancy looking caps there, those red ones. And again, there's fancy writing on there, which I can't read. Premium, maybe? It's a strange thing. Double-sided board. Okay, let's see where the wires for that thing go on the other side. And we'll look in the service manual and see what are these things. Do that now. We'll pull this one open as well. This must be, pretty sure this will be the NICAM audio decoder. Decoder? Processor? Special thing? Oh yeah, look at all that good stuff. Yeah, it looks like that's what that is. It's just a different layout to the one that we saw in the other machines, which was one that could fit in this area, but now we got this guy in there. So that's in a different shape. Seems pretty reasonable. Now, what are these other guys? Okay, let's go have a look in here. Hopefully there's something that points out the various bits and pieces. There's an HQ pack. Luminance and chrominance separation. That's what that will be. Subluminance and chrominance. There's no part numbers on those. That does look like that one there. Luminance and chrominance separation PCB. That says subluminance CBA, which I don't. That's not that, is it? Because that doesn't have any trim pots on it. That's just some other thing. Input output pack. Even that talks about. Okay, let's look at this then. Power PCB. We've got NICAM decoder, luminance and chrominance separation. So that is those two. So maybe it's that. Oh, look, there you go. Audio power. Okay, so that is a nice regulator thing for the audio circuit. Who'd have thought? Who'd have known? Oh, so that there under that insulating shield thing is what it's pointing to here, which is power circuit board, and then below it is the audio power. Fancy. Must have, as foretold, there is a fancy regulator thing for the audio circuits. Yeah, so this machine must be higher end. I guess it makes sense because the model number is higher. I guess it has this so that you can get the S-video out from the regular composite video sources. Separation. And that just hooks itself in at the other end. So it only needs 2 screws. Did I put the wrong screws in on this? Or have we lost something? How many screws did this need? 1? 2? Weird. Was that not screwed in? Or maybe that wasn't. Or maybe that wasn't. Or a screw rolled away. It's interesting that that big box has only got 2 screws holes. I guess it doesn't matter because it sits under the bottom panel. Alright, so that's all good. And bottom side of the mechanism there. Review motor comes down. You can see the video on the, was it F70 maybe, where we looked at that, or F65, F70, which comes over here, drives the supply reel in the reverse direction when playing backwards or using the review mode. It's a bit of a bodge getting from that motor to the other side, the drive through the belt onto here. Yes, I'm guessing this special base metal is done to improve like the hi-fi audio ability because it keeps everything nice and shielded. Now, I don't think we're going to be opening the front of this one. We don't really need to. We covered that in previous videos. Again, we looked at the previous 3 episodes where we looked in machines quite similar to this one. Is that cheating, not looking at the whole thing? Nope. You can go and find it in the previous videos. Help with the watch time. Guess we didn't play it long enough to work out if the video head is in need of re-lubricating or not. Maybe this machine has seen low hours. I don't know, would the head oil bearing thing be a time-based or usage, like time passed or rotations done type situation? Would it wear out on a machine that's been used a lot more than one that's just sat around doing nothing for the same length of time? Okay, let's go in this way. Got a bunch of stuff we've got to undo here. That ground will need to be undone. We want to take the power supply out anyway because we want to have a little look at that. Oh no, that won't have to be undone because this one lifts up that way. What we will need to do is undo screws at the back to release where the terminal panels secure to the back panel. Also see if we can get the power supply out. And just because it's become part of the thing, we'll have a look under the head amp screws. Wow, really tight, and it bent the bracket. That one there might be mounted already. Yes, that has already been destroyed by someone with the wrong screwdriver. Okay, maybe the power supply will come out now. Not easily. I wonder if the mechanism or something else has to come out first. Maybe it's just these wires. Ah, there are more screws in the back going through this heatsink. Okay, it's loose now. It's a bit weird because the heatsink is inside this plastic housing thing. Oh, that comes off. Okay. Does it come off? Maybe it comes off. Yes, you have to undo this. These clips. Still don't know how that's gonna come out. Maybe you have to take the heatsink off. You see, there's a red screw there. Yes, you do have to take the heatsink off. Interesting. So that's just a supplementary cooling. Now this thing will lift out. There's a whole bunch of wires and ground, separate ground wires. Ah, yeah, look at that. And then there's that shielding thing. Oh, it is just fully switch mode. I thought what was mentioned is that there was a small transformer for the audio part. I guess it's just done by the additional filtering then. Yes, it is just regular switch mode. I don't know if I've been in there and replaced caps or not. It's kind of getting to that age. Well, probably way past it. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like they've been replaced. More double insulation. Pretty good stuff. Quality assembly. Yeah, heatsink aluminum plate there, which, oops, see the heatsink keys into. There's some bumps in it, which will locate that appropriately, like that. Now that screw flew into there somewhere, just there. Okay, well that's the power supply. It says fused there, pressed in. Oh, so that must mean it goes that way. There is the fuse. Separate little subboard with the input protection and common mode chokes, RFI filtering. That doesn't want to go back in. Okay. Power supply? Let's have a look at lifting this up. Yeah, pretty easy. Just That should lift up, then hinge up. These bracket hinge things slide out for a while and then they can turn. Oh, look at that, there's heaps more good stuff in here. If this has a... untangle the wires so they'll let the board pass. Does it clip itself in? Yes. Look at that. There's another board there with more good bits and pieces on it. And more of those kind of module things that are soldered in and then connected each side. T connection thing. Interesting. Remember FS88, that hi-fi audio board, FM audio board, had that McClord chip on the other side. Back to being on the back on this board. You can see it's possible the age range of these VCRs is not like in the same order as the the model numbers. And we see those thicker wires that came off that audio power board down there do go up, plug into the main board right below where this FM audio board is. So just getting a nice filtered power supply. So what is this thing? Subluminance chrominance PCB. It says CCD pack. Charged coupled device. Don't know. Quite a lot to this. A lot of extra boards. Just looking to see if there's any more information about what that CCD thing was about. There's a lot going on there. So that's the main one. HQ pack. I don't know what one that is. Lumens and chromats separation. Anyway, there are interesting circuits in here. So what we got in here is the two luminance chrominance boards stacked on top of each other. This one's on a little removable bracket thing. Little clippies, so you can undo it. It's kind of like these are all afterthoughts, isn't it? Or optional things that can be fitted if you need them. Just the wires run right where the clips go, so they're always in the way of each other. So yeah, on this main board, system control with the main processor on the back side of it, under there. Various power supply things on it, heatsink there, a servo board here, heatsink on the motor driver, capstan motor. Head motor is on the PCB that's attached to the audio head, attached to the head itself. Then there's the video stuff here, TV tuner, RF modulator here, hi-fi audio, regular normal audio down there. And then more video circuits there, and below that the NICAM decoder that we saw. That's all good stuff, a lot of stuff packed into a small space there. Layers of things. So in that void there is where this stuff here fits. I guess that's why the hinge things lift out so much. Because you've got to pull those out to clear that pile of boards before you tilt it, and it all just perfectly goes back in when you've had enough. What a wonderful thing. Just make sure we don't trap any wires in the process. And put all this stuff back together. I think this is the last one in this FS series that I have. There's still a few other interesting machines to go. A lot of other interesting machines to go. Getting higher and higher end at the moment in the range of National and Panasonic things. Okay, put back this heatsink. Interesting, there's no paste or other type of thermal interface in there. Just relying on it to be nice and flat. 3 screws there would help with that. What? 3 screws will help keep it all in nicely. Okay, we'll just hook it back up to make sure everything is still good. And so I guess the only problem this has, well, of the things that we've investigated, is that the clock doesn't have anything on it. There's just no display at all on the screen. Also, it looks like we might have ruined it in the process. That's unfortunate. It probably won't pick up on the capture anymore because the picture's gone a bit distorted. Yeah, it looks a bit angry, doesn't it? It's still kind of playing. It's just lines on it now. Not really sure what happened. Did we poke something about that's messed it up? Yeah, there might be a bad connection somewhere. That is a bit unfortunate. Oh well, we did get a good look around at it. I wonder if something's messed up with the alignment of where the tape is running. I had to blank out so much of the video playing on the previous go. Even though it's just a little bit up in the corner of the screen, you should have done like it at all. I had to blank it all out. It took about 4 goes of blanking it, blanking the sections I didn't like, re-uploading it, still didn't like it, do more, still didn't like it. Anyway, it doesn't work as well as it did before I pulled it apart. Maybe something got poked. Well, I think there's a bad connection somewhere because moving it around a bit causes the picture to come and go away. So something is a little bit out of whack there. Anyway, that's what we have time for today. So there's a look at the Panasonic NV-FS100 S-VHS high-end hi-fi HQ 625 VHS VCR. Stay tuned for next time. We'll take a look inside another VCR.